Attention, all air guitar champions, lawn mowing legends, and masters of the backyard barbecue. It's time! There's Rush and Zeppelin, Sabbath and The Who. Every dad's got a favorite and a deep cut pick or two. So grab a cold one, pull up a chair, and sing along tonight. Because the soundtrack of a generation still sounds just right. We're the Commonwealth Crate Diggers, spinning records loud and proud. Celebrating dad rock, we're the coolest dads around. Every scratch and every groove has a story left to tell. So raise your hands and crank it up. It's Father's Day as well. We're the Commonwealth Crate Diggers, spinning records loud and proud. Celebrating dad rock, we're the coolest dads around.
Hi everyone, welcome to the live stream. We are back after a few weeks off. I've been busy. We'll go through it all together. But welcome to the live stream. It is Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there, you granddads out there, that kind of thing. Welcome to the show. It's going to be a Father's Day special. So today we're talking about dad rock. Surprise, surprise. But first of all, I will go to my sidekick and partner, the one, the only. It is Racer Joe. How's it going, mate?
Good. A little rainy here today, so good afternoon to sit down, hang out with two of my favorite guys for the afternoon. Well, for a couple hours anyway. So
Cool. Mr. Mark Morris is our special guest. He returns to the show. Thank you, Mark. How's it going, mate?
It's going great, Chris. It's going great. Hey, I was just curious, is it Father's Day all over the world? Is it Father's Day in Wales and Canada?
yeah, we had that conversation, Chris and I, because Mother's Day was different, and I don't know why.
Oh,
At least
okay.
Wales and Canada, but the dads just got their shit together and had it all on the same day, I guess. I don't know. So
Probably one of my favorite intros, Joe. Well done.
yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was okay. I write a little bit. I don't write it all, and I certainly don't play the music, but I have fun putting them together. I know it's AI, but you know what? If I could play it, I'd play it myself, but I can't. But it's fun. And yeah, I don't think you saw that before you saw that, I don't think, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So I thought I'd hide that one and not show you till and watch your expression live, which is what I was shooting for. Mark, I should have had you in there somewhere. I should have snuck some pictures and did some stuff. So
No, that's fine. That's fine.
The only thing that Joe said to me, send me a picture of your dad. And I was like, okay. But I haven't been on StreamYard I haven't been on StreamYard for a few weeks. So I was just going in here going, I'm not going to watch the preview. I'm going to wait and he can have my reaction as soon as it comes up. Nice choice in football shirts, by the way. You got that one spot on.
Got that one right. Yeah. I was pretty sure. I was gonna
Yeah.
wear mine today because you sent me that, and I was gonna wear that today. So, but I went with the racing because these guys race later on. So I went with racing today. But I do have the right football jersey for when I need to wear the right football jersey.
Cool. Well done.
Yeah.
Right. We'll go through the panel, see what everybody's kind of been up to the last couple of weeks. I'll just tell you what happened to myself. So last week, I met some VC royalty. I went up to Lincoln to the record fair. So it was me, Gav Axman Spins. It was David Atkinson and Mr. Rob Walker. That was fun. Rob decided to go live on his channel after a few pints.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I did not see that part.
Yeah,
No, I
and
didn't
now
either.
and within the next morning he deleted it. So that kind of tells you what kind of live stream that was.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, that's what I've been up to. No live stream last week because I was fucking shattered, to be honest. All round trip from start to finish was 500 miles for me. So it took me about just over 2.5 hours to get to David's, and then we met Rob and Gav at David's, and then we went up to Lincoln. The first protocol was the biggest record shop in Britain,
I saw that.
which is
Disappointing.
it's weird because it was in a freaking garden center, which I've never seen before. But welcome to Britain. It's kind of those places where you go with the missus or a partner or whatever, and the guy says, "Oh, it's a record shop." I know. You do your plant stuff, and I'll pop into the record shop. But like I said on the video, nothing for me. It was kind of like a massive charity shop, or kind of whatever you call them in America and Canada. But it was kind of it reminded me of a dead person's collection. So there was a lot of crap. There was one or two, like I know Rob and Gav are into their 12-inch singles, that kind of stuff. And there was stuff there, but nothing for me. To be honest, I was saving my money for the record fair because I knew I knew it was gonna kind of happen. So that's been my weeks the last kind of 2 weeks. So here we are, we're back. Joe, what have you been up to? Got a new video up on the shop, I noticed this week.
Yeah, I have a few things going on. On my channel, of course, there's the game show, and I've got one episode of the semifinals done, and it was a very good episode. If you haven't watched it, watch it. If you have, you'll know that. We'll just leave it at that. Watch it if you haven't watched it, and if you have, thank you. The next two, I'm just trying to get everybody together. It's tough to wrangle adults together on a weekend. But we're working on it. So eventually we'll get the semifinals out of the way and get to the final. Shop, we bought a couple of big collections over the last little while. One was about 1,300. One was 750-ish or whatever. The 1,300 one is crazy stuff. It's all brand new. It's like the guy listened to it and just put it away. You know, you hear the stories of the guy that bought it, recorded it once, and then put it away. I think that's what this is. He also worked at a distribution place. Not at a record store per se, but where guys like me get my records from. He worked there, so he had a lot of promo stuff and things like that. So it'll be a pretty cool little collection. Lots of 80s, lots of Canadian 80s. So it's going to appeal to the Canadians, of the 80s era or whatever. But it's all, like I said, it's all pristine. It's great. The other one is good. It's got some 80s. It's got some 70s stuff. It's got a little bit of everything. It's tough to get collections of newer things because people are still hanging on to that, right? You talk about the dead person's collections, and that's kind of what comes up. Although from time to time, we bought 30 from a young guy a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what the hell they were, but it was the right price, and he was selling them. And it's good to have in the shop. I don't ever profess to know it all by any means. So who knows? Someone could come and go, "Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome." Even though I have no idea what it is. It's a lot of death metal. I know that much. So it doesn't do anything for me personally, but I don't begrudge anybody of their taste. So we try and get in a little bit of new. A lot of the time it's older stuff, but it's good. And yesterday did a pop-up show, which was kind of neat. Took some of the stuff from the store and went and did that with some guys that I used to do those with. I think there was 10 of us in the end. Actually, everybody had 3, 5, 7 boxes or whatever. I took a little bit of stuff from the store, and I took some CDs. We also got 600 CDs from this guy that we bought 1,300 records from. He goes, "Do you want these?" And I said, "Well, I don't really want them." He goes, "Well, you can just have them." Okay, sure. So, and there, because we do a little bit with CDs, but not that much. We also don't really promote it. I think if we did, we probably would, because there is still some call for it. It's still physical media. It's still something you can look at and something you can read, and it was the same as his records. There wasn't a scratch on any of this stuff, and some of it, when you went to open the CD case, it creaked a little bit because it'd never been opened. So and it was good. Lots of people that I saw from the store, a few people that I didn't see from the store that now hopefully know about the store. So it was good. So it's been a busy couple of weeks. It's been fun. I want to get those other semifinals recorded, which I hopefully will do next weekend, and then get to the final, and we'll go from there.
Cool, mate. Cool.
Yeah.
Good turnout for the pop-up shop.
It was, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that one picture. I don't have it, but yeah, when we opened the doors, it was supposed to be at 10, and by 9:30 there was like 50 people there, and it was just in my buddy's garage, and then we had a tent out on his driveway as well. So it was a little elbow to elbow. Everybody had their box, and they'd flip through, and then everybody would shuffle over, and everybody would shuffle back and stuff. So it was a good turnout. It really was. Yeah, I was happy with it, and everybody else was. My buddy that came from Kelowna, he was in visiting his dad for Father's Day weekend, and he brought like 4 or 5 boxes, and he threw them up on a table, and he sold a whole bunch of them. So it was good. Yeah.
Cool. Mark, so the question I have to ask you is, are you fed up with the new Paul McCartney album yet?
Do you mean this one?
There you go.
No, not really. I like the album. I don't watch every video about it, but yeah, I like the album. I think it's a fine album.
Just before we went live, I was literally watching your video, and I was like, "Oh, Mark's been lucky with the VCLT this week." You've just
Yes,
done a video.
I just put that one up today. I wasn't able to go to a listening party, and Alex from Beer and Vinyl sent me the exclusive postcards. And then Sam from Samoset 4 Beatles Vinyl, he sent me the little tote bag. I just need somebody to send me the silver record, the exclusive silver record, and I could tell everybody I was at a listening party. Nobody would know the difference.
Nobody would. You can still do that even if you don't have all the swag. What the hell?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think Alex would call me out on it because I mentioned that on Instagram. We were chatting on Instagram, and I said, as far as anybody knows, I was there. And he said, you don't have the tote. Well, now I have the tote. So
And
I'm
the
good
other
to
thing,
go.
the other thing I was going to say was, you're doing pretty well in the REM collection on the vinyl, mate.
What's that?
The REM collection you've been doing.
Yes. I've been trying to, I've had REM on CD, almost all of them on CD, but the only one I had on vinyl was Murmur. And I wanted all the REM on vinyl. So about once a month, I buy another REM record. And so I'm getting there. I'm probably 4 or 5 away now.
Cool. Well done. Okay, welcome to the live stream. So
You didn't ask me
obviously-
what I did in the last couple of weeks.
I'm sorry, mate. You crack on. Go on. I apologize
I went to
profusely.
Walmart and I bought a record.
Excellent.
Okay.
That's
That's
good.
it.
Well done.
That's
That's
like
it.
that's
And I do want to say,
I
I would drive 500 miles and I would drive 500 more just to be the man who went to UK's biggest record store with Chris Mann and the other UK gentleman.
that rhymed for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought if you would have called someone a whore, that's about the only other way you could have maybe rhymed it at.
I was doing it in my head.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I did look for the Proclaimers, but they had none there.
Yeah, that's one. You'd think that one would be out there, but I think maybe I've seen it once in the 10 or 12 years of going through people's collections and things like that. Out of Time by REM is another one that should be out there because there should have been a whole bunch, but people hang on to their REM for sure because that's another one. I finally found. I don't have a lot of grails or a lot of when I go out looking fors, but I have found 2 in the last month. So it's been kind of nice. It's been good. So I'm going to show you one, and then I showed you one before as well. So it's been good. There's certain albums or there's certain days where there is just a big run of the videos. You joked a little bit about the Paul McCartney albums, but really there are how many of them out there? If you searched Paul McCartney's new album review or whatever, how many would come up? The second that the record store day list comes out, there are 1,000 of those. There's just certain time points that a bunch of people will jump on and start doing those. So speaking of Alex,
That's Alex now.
There, let's put him up there. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. I guess the sound is off, so he's not going to be able to. Is the sound off for you or is the sound off for us? We're probably best to have the sound off for you. Wait, I don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Hey, Alex.
But thank you.
So yeah, so apart from obviously, you've picked up some records, you're doing the REM thing, you've got Paul McCartney, petting your dogs, like just imagine laying on the couch as well, Mark.
Yeah, my dog. I mean, my poor dog. It's she's going blind, and it's really progressing quickly. I don't know what's happening, but poor dog's running into things. But she's much more manageable as a blind dog.
Yeah, it makes it a little easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, she doesn't run off from me. She stays very close to me.
Cool. Right. Okay. So this week we're gonna do dad rock. Whatever. When you hear the word dad rock, what comes to mind? I've gone down a slightly different route on mine this week because I thought to myself, well, I'm not actually a dad myself. I'm a stepdad. So what?
That's a dad, my friend. That's a dad. Anybody who
Yeah.
steps in and does that, that's a dad, for Christ's sakes. Yes.
So I picked music that I listen to. That
Yeah.
now my stepkid's gonna go, who's this? What's
What are
this?
we listening to?
What is
Yeah.
this? What is this?
But yeah. I mean, if you look it up, right? If you Google dad rock, there are the bands that come up, and I went with that a little bit on nose. But what the hell? We'll show some. But really, in theory, I'm a dad, and this is, I guess, arguably rock. But I'm a dad. But is this dad rock? Because I like this. This is not dad rock. If you look this up, this is not coming up. But I put this on last night. I love this album. It's just fun. It's just good. So I'm a dad. It's arguably rock or whatever. So is that dad rock? But there's a specific genre that people have in their minds, right? Just like what is metal? There's a lot of different versions of metal and things like that. So it's going to be loosey goosey today as what is dad rock, and I love the direction that you're going. That's good.
So we thought we'd have our special guest to go first today. So it's over to Mr. Mark Morris.
Well, kind of a thunder was kind of stole, but the reason I bring this up, I commented on somebody's channel how much I like this album, and then somebody else wrote under it, somebody I'd never heard of wrote, yeah, if you like geezer rock. This is geezer rock, apparently.
Yeah.
So I did want to show that just because of that comment. Somebody said this is that might be a good album if you're into geezer rock. So I'm not going to say anything more about this record. But this came to mind today because I was talking about it in my video. But the new Paul McCartney thing, he's 84 years old now, so I would suppose that's dad rock now.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
was waiting for the 64 to come up then. I was waiting.
I'm trying not to beat the dead horse, but I can't promise that it's not going to happen.
I forgot we talked a little bit about the Paul McCartney, and when you first went, well, the thunder got stolen. I swear to God, I was hoping you were going to show Aqua, which I really highly doubt, but maybe not, because I have no idea. That's like when people walk into the store. I have no idea. There were these 20-year-old, there was three of them. They were 20-ish, something like that. I'm old now, so I can't tell. They might have been 40. I don't know. But anyway, the one young guy goes, have you got any John Denver? And I okay, sure, because you just can't tell what people are going to listen to. We all have what we listen to. I don't think any of my friends would necessarily, well, of a couple of years ago or 20 or so years ago would have gone, Joe, you're not listening to Aqua, but I listen to Aqua. But yeah, these young guys specifically. And then on top of that, what was it yesterday? Someone asked, she's like 18. She asked for Player. And I said, Player, Baby, Come Back. And she goes, yeah, that's the song. So I don't know if they're seeing stuff on TikTok or they're listening to their dad's or their mom's collections or where they're picking up on some.
It's a new world, Joe. I work at a shelter for kids between the ages of 7 and 17.
Yeah.
And they know everything. I mean, they know our stuff. They know their stuff. It's not all of them, but you run into them. And, somebody was talking about Buffalo Springfield, one of these 13-year-old girls. And I'm like, Buffalo Springfield, where are you hearing this?
Exactly.
And if it's not from a parent, it's from a video game or a movie. they know all sorts of stuff, lots more than I knew at their age.
Yeah. Oh
Well,
yeah, Jim. Yeah. Go ahead.
Who thought that Kate Bush was going to make a comeback?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of
Unbelievable. A
Yeah.
huge comeback. Everybody knows Kate Bush now because of Stranger Things, right?
Yep.
cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jim Crochet, that was the other one. I got asked
Yeah.
for Jim Crochet twice in the last couple of days. It's like there's some, again, I don't know, but it's like there's some TikTok dance out there. All of a sudden, it's like, I don't know, they're talking about don't mess around with Jim or something. I don't know.
I
It's
almost
weird.
picked a Crochet record for this. I love all those people you're talking about. John Denver, Crochet.
Yeah.
I love those people. And those were a big part of my youth. I love those singer-songwriter people that I think it's inspiring these young people. My niece is incredible. She knows stuff. She likes stuff like I'm like, that's old and nerdy by my standards.
For me,
Lily.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, it's good. It's awesome to see, really. I like it.
Okay, so I will go next, and I'm going to show 2 records in a row, which reminds me of my dad. So this is the last bit of me and my dad, right?
Yep.
But
sure.
when you say dad rock, this band comes to mind. It's Dire Straits.
Mhm.
Oh man, yes.
I always think of Mark Knopfler and co. Every time somebody says dad rock, I literally yesterday I've been doing my research slightly, so I was on Apple Music and I told the phone and said play some dad rock. Guess which song came up first?
Yeah. Sultans of Swing.
Sultans of frickin' Swing, mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know they've had some hits. It's Romeo and Juliet, Tunnel of Love. You know, they got so many on you. It's insane. But obviously, it's the greatest hits. What can I do at this point? It's what I do. But if any youngsters watching this, probably not. But if you do, then if you want to get in Dire Straits, this might be a good gateway into it. So this is the best of Dire Straits and Mark Knopfler. It's called Private Investigation. Probably pick this up on Amazon or your record shop for around about 20 quid. So it's a good one
So
to
your
have.
father, that's something your father listened to.
When I
See,
was
that's
growing
not
up,
I listen to. I keep forgetting there's this huge age difference between. I'm 64.
See, we
Get that-
could, yeah,
get
we
that drum out.
we could arguably be his father, right? Ish, I think, because you're.
There's a chance I am. I spent a little
Well,
time
yeah.
in Wales.
I wasn't over there anywhere. So.
Yeah, I don't get these looks from my normal dad. It must be from Mark. And the other one that he listened to constantly. Well, there's another one I haven't got, but he used to love Pavarotti. So he used to listen to Pavarotti on a Sunday. But in my household, this is dad
Yep.
rock at its best. You know, Queen, greatest hits. What can I say? Killer Queen, another one, Bites of Dust. Bicycle Race, Don't Stop Me Now. But my favorite Queen song of all time is Hammer to Fall. Still love that song.
Really, that's an interesting choice.
So yeah, I didn't go for the most famous one, but I like Hammer to Fall, and it's all to do with Live Aid when they done Hammer to Fall. I think it was like their second song they did on Live Aid, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And Alid, my step boy, he loves Hammer to Fall. He loves Queen. He loves AC/DC. He loves all the stuff that Joe loves. It's
Awesome.
Yeah,
My daughter is it's the dad rock thing was hard. I didn't think of looking it up. I should have Googled it. It's tough for me because Lexi is so she likes so much of what I like, and so it was really hard for me to. But she's really gotten into Queen lately. I've been sending her some of my favorite Queen records. But yeah, that's definitely a dad rock, I guess. I
Well,
guess
so-
everything I listen to is probably considered dad rock.
Sure, that's the thing. That exactly it is. Richard, nice to see you. I think we kind of said hi earlier, but I didn't put it up there. So anyway, yeah, I had Queen in the pile as well. I thought I had Dire Straits. I didn't pull that one, but yeah, epitome of dad rock, but just very good on top of it as well. So you really can't go wrong. I'm gonna switch sides here. So yeah, like I said, I went a little bit on nose with in theory, the dictionary definitions of dad rock, again, if you look it up, if you Google it, some of the bands that I mixed it up a little bit. Some of the bands came up that are just associated with it. And one of them, I think it was anyway, is Boston. And I don't often show Boston Third Stage because the first two are just the greatest and the best ever that I have listened to. I really, really like them. But Third Stage held up. We've talked about it before where bands, that take a little bit of a hiatus. There wasn't a long hiatus between 1, 2, and then this Third Stage, but there was enough of a break. Not like, not like other bands where it's 10 or 12 years like Tool, who takes forever to bring out an album, but there was a little bit of time. And this was really good. Again, did it necessarily hold up to the first Boston and the second Boston albums? No, but it held its own against it. And then beyond that, not so much after that. But this is a good album, really good album. I always loved the Boston artwork. I love how the guitar evolved from what it was, the spaceship it was, to the other spaceship that it was, to the third spaceship that it was. So just good stuff. Got a chance to see them forever ago. Everybody was still around and part of it, and it was for this tour, actually. So it was pretty cool. So you got this, and you got all the old stuff, For Play a Long Time, all that great stuff. So I think Boston probably falls into the official category of dad rock.
So Richard's saying my dad was big on guitar, slinging, singer-songwriter like Johnny Cash and Glenn Campbell. So
yeah,
I like a bit of Glenn. I got to be honest.
Wichita Lineman. I love that song.
Yeah. There's a lot of great stuff like that. I've told this before, but I'll tell it real quick again. I was raised by my grandparents. So my dad's listening was Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, all of that. I have a biological somewhere. I've never met him. No, don't need to, don't want to. But so for
I
me,
did spend a little time in Canada too, Joe.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. If you were, well, maybe you were.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud.
You're a good, you're a good virile man at 4 years old, because that's the age gap. Because you're what? You're 64, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm 64.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm 60. So, but where the hell was I going? Anyway, so my dad's music was that, and I never appreciated it before, but eventually at some point in my life, I went, you know what? That's actually pretty decent stuff. I did hear a lot of it. Now, some of it was stuff I don't listen to, but I got back around to the crooners, the Dean Martins and the Frank Sinatras and that. So, and Johnny Cash, my mom's husband, who's not my dad, and I've never considered him to be that. He's a good guy. He was a big Johnny Cash fan, so got a lot of Johnny Cash. My biological mom, I'm getting confusing now. So
anyway. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, especially my granddad. So he was kind of like the mayor of the south of Wales, so he's quite important. And every time you're in the car, right, this is going to surprise you, and I'm a big fan because of we used to listen to it on tape in the car, was Mr. Gene Autry.
Okay.
Oh, my dad's favorite. My dad's absolute favorite.
That's good.
Absolute, the singing cowboy. Man, I heard so many stories about this man.
And there was one song, and they called Water, and you can tell it might have been, looking back and now, it was probably a bootleg. Because it was kind of like water. But I gotta get Gene Autry the best of or something, just so that
I have a couple on CD, just because my dad loved this guy so much. Yeah, that's a memory. Gene Autry.
And
Never thought I'd hear him mentioned.
Welcome to my show. Sorry, welcome to our show. But I do name the odd one now and again. But he must have been one of the original people when it comes to Christmas albums. What was he done? The Reindeer, didn't he? Originally,
yeah, I think that was here, Rudolph or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly, but sure, yeah. My dad was never the country, and well, you know what? That was in there too. Sons of the Pioneers, a lot of that stuff. So yeah, I'm sure there's a whole bunch that I have, I don't know, blocked out, forgotten, whatever. But still good though. Still good. Again, I come around to a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have listened to when I was younger. But not that I'm not young now. I'm not 64. Anyway, speaking of that, it's Mark's turn.
Let's go to somebody who might be 64.
That's right.
Maybe. My dad was so. We had tumultuous relationship, and I just didn't think we had anything in common. You know how when you're younger, it's just like, man, I am not like this man. Then as you get older, you're like, oh, geez, I'm a lot like this guy. But one of the things he had was he had this passion for music. It just happened to be music I couldn't stand, and my stuff, of course, he couldn't stand. And that was really a big part of the problem between us, is we had this different view. But Gene Autry was big. He was huge into Frank Sinatra. He loved all the big bands. He loved Benny Goodman. He got all the way up to, strangely enough, Herman's Hermits. He decided Herman's Hermits were okay of all the new bands, but nothing after that. Anyway, I've heard it mentioned already. I brought this one up because AC/DC, I was talking to, I was at work with this young woman. She's probably 23, 24. And I had AC/DC playing in my car. And she said, this is about 4 years ago. And she said, are you about 60? And I said, yeah. And she says, yeah, my dad's that age and he listens to this stuff too. So, and then I heard, I can't remember which one you've mentioned it, but AC/DC, definitely a dad rock kind of thing. I have a question about dad rock, though. Is dad rock just what I would call classic rock? Because it seems like most of the stuff I was picking out would be considered classic rock.
I'd say, yes, I would agree to that to a certain extent. Joe?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. Definitely. So, you know what, though? She goes, you're about 6. That album is 46 years old now. That's the thing.
That's older than me.
Yeah, exactly. We're
Right.
talking about albums like that. Not so much Boston, because that was only 86, but that's still, that's still 40 years old. But we're talking about albums like, oh man, I remember when my dad got excited about the new Glenn Miller album coming out, and like we're at that stage now where the reminiscent classic albums like we're looking at, and they're not that old, but they're old enough, I guess. It's
Glenn Miller was another one my dad listened to, drove me crazy. And then I heard String of Pearls. I was at a I guess you'd call it a little honky tonk dive bar, and String of Pearls was on the jukebox, and somebody played it, and I'm like, wow, this is really good. And it turned out to be Glenn Miller, and I'm like, oh my God, I really am turning into my dad.
Oh my God, yeah, exactly. Shit, damn it, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Cool, mate. Yes, I'm with you 100%. I found myself like, if you look at my pickups in the last 2 years, there's a lot of dad rock kind of music going on there, which I'll probably show in a bit. Not quite dad rock, but an album that got delivered this week that I pre-ordered from the website. You can put this down as dad rock or granddad rock. I picked up these guys. So this is Creedence Clearwater. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. So this is anniversary kind of release. They released. I will show you the vinyl. Oh, okay. Let's do a game. Should we do my favorite game? Okay. Looking at this cover, I'll give you a clue. It's not black or it's not a picture disc. So what color vinyl would you say? It could be, I'll give you a clue. It may be splattered or that kind of theme. So
you probably don't want me to play this game because you sent me a picture of it on Instagram.
Oh, shit,
Yeah, you sent me a picture too. I was going to say I'm out because you sent me a picture. So
okay.
That's why I pulled it, because I had
just
figured
get
you were
it-
going to
both
show
get
it.
it right. Yeah.
I'll show it. Here we go. Yeah, you both got it right. Well done. So there you go. Pick this up from the website. Had a really good deal on it. Also came with this. So
Nice.
Oh, that's cool. Mine
So there
didn't
you
come.
So there's that one. Now, for Dad Rock itself, I was nearly crying when I saw this coming up on Apple Music as Dad Rock. And I was like, yeah, probably, probably, which makes me very old now. It's the Foo Fighters.
Oh, yeah. That's odd. Yeah, that's weird to
So-
think of as dad rock, but it definitely is.
Yeah. Because, yeah, I remember Aled saying the other day, oh, did you get brought up with Foo Fighters? And I'm thinking, yeah, I probably did. 2000s was my era, probably in college. So, yes, they are dad rock.
You
So
know
there you go.
what's interesting is I can see Foo Fighters with Dave Grohl and everything being considered dad rock, but I couldn't see Nirvana being considered dad rock.
No.
I was
You
gonna
could-
pick Nirvana,
Oh,
but I
maybe
didn't.
it is then. I think
But
it's
I-
it's so much edgier, I think.
I didn't put them down as rock. I don't know why. I always think. Oh, sorry, this came on green vinyl. Picked this up at the record fair. This is a bootleg. This is a what the hell is it? It's a radio from 11th of November 1999. Radio from Sweden. So it's a bootleg. Whatever. I saw
How do you
it.
pronounce Sweden again?
Sweden.
Sweden.
I love it.
Nice.
So there you go. Bit of the Foo Fighters. Could have picked up the greatest hits, but I thought, being as I picked this up the other day, do you know what? I was at the record fair. Gav and David went, oh, because they know I love the Foo Fighters. They're like, Chris, the Foo Fighters. I'm like, yeah, but it's a bootleg. And Dave went, what's wrong with you? You love them. Get it. I went, okay.
There you go.
So
You know, I don't you normally buy bootlegs, but if it's a band I really love, like the Beatles, I will buy every single one I see.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it is, I will buy it.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
That's a good problem, though. It's all right.
So whoever thought that the Foo Fighters were going to be dad rock, I did say I was going to put a spin on this tonight. So there's my spin. You can see where I'm going with this tonight. So there's going to be quite a few others that you're going to go, oh, good God, is it really?
There
So-
was again, if you Google dad rock, and there's the little AI up at the top, it broke it down into dad rock, grandpa rock, and then there was divorced dad rock as well. And I'm
Oh
gonna leave
man, that sounds like
Yeah.
that sounds like a thread right there.
yeah.
Divorce
So,
dad rock. Man,
divorced
that's
dad
awesome.
rock. Yeah.
Oh man, I could sink my teeth into that.
Yeah, we'll see how that one goes. But
Yeah, because if you go right back to Foo Fighters, their first album was out in 1995.
yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't quite 64 then, but I was approaching it.
Exactly.
So let's just quickly go to the comments, Joe, before we go to
Yep,
you
for
next.
sure. Warp Dog, who hasn't been with us for a while, but I guess we haven't been with us for a while
No.
either. But nice to see you. So yeah, happy Dad's Day, fellas. Listen to Dad Rock, Granddad Rock, Great Granddad Swing. Plus, I tell dad jokes, and I'm not even a dad. So there you go. Nice job. That's good. But it all counts, man. It all counts. So you talked a little bit about a string of pearls, I believe, right? Was that the song you
Yeah,
mentioned?
string
Yeah,
of pearls. Glenn
So
Miller.
we're going to go from a string of pearls to a pearl necklace and a little ZZ top. Although I don't think
necklace.
I don't think
Oh,
that's on here.
man.
No, I don't think that one's on here. Oh yeah, it is on here too. Yeah, this is pearl necklace. I just making a smart ass comment, but it is actually on here. El Loco, older ZZ Top. This one goes back a ways. When is this? This would be 70s, right? No, 1981. So it's still older. Still, oh, it's only 45 years old, not 46 years old. But always a favorite. I think there's a lot of dads that this would fall into dad rock for them. Classic rock, though. Mark, to your point, it is at this point. So maybe there's not a lot of definition between the two of them, because you could take a lot of everything from a classic rock station and just consider that or call that dad rock. But really like these guys. Always have. Again, a band that continued to evolve a little bit. Obviously, things changed, got much more electronic when Eliminator and Afterburner came out. But good stuff. Saw them forever ago. Saw them a couple of years ago, and they were really good with the Wallflowers opening for them. So, yeah, it's good stuff. And up until Dusty Hill passed, they, I think, were the band that was together, the band, the longest. I think it was either between them or another band I'll mention. I think, yeah, I've got them up next. Another three-piece band. Just and it wasn't for a lack of them not not continuing on. Dusty just passed away. So good stuff, great stuff, great live, good fun, a lot of good stuff. They didn't get too deep in their music by any means, but that's okay. I'm not a problem with that.
Can I recommend an album that everybody should stream that I have picked up that I haven't shown yet?
Stereophonics, greatest
No,
hits.
they're going out. I can send one to you if you like, mate. It's Dave Grohl's daughter, Violet Grohl, has got a
Right.
new album out. I like it.
Yeah,
It's
you
think Paramore and Sheryl Crow, if you can.
Right.
Did you
is
do
a-
a video on this? I've seen this somewhere recently.
I haven't done it yet because I've literally
Okay.
got it this week. I ordered it from a website. They had the special edition. You know,
I
me,
remember
love it.
liking what I saw though.
Yeah, it's good. I like it a lot. Give it a stream. Let us know what you think. Do you know what? Just let Joe know what you think.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. She was great. Saw when I saw them, I don't know, 3 years ago. Joe and I went and saw them. She did a couple of songs, and it was very good. And I think the one is on the last album, is it not? Isn't there a duet with her and Dad
Yes.
on the last album? So you get a little bit of a taste. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to listen to much. I've listened to a single and I like it. It's good. She's got a great voice. Obviously, she's got the lineage as well. And I don't think she's riding on Dad's coattails in any way, shape, or form, which is great. That's good. A lot of these kids have gone out and done it on their own. We talked a little bit a couple of weeks ago, maybe last time we were on, about Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley's son, where they're out doing some stuff. And they're not saying, hey, look at us, we're the kids of these two guys from Kiss or whatever. They're doing their own music and they're putting it out there. And I think it seems to be the same thing with Violet.
Question, Joe.
Sure.
When's that album coming out?
I don't know when that album's coming out. They haven't really talked about it. There's just maybe 2 songs that's all I've really heard so far. So yeah, I haven't seen it come up on my list of stuff at the shop as far as that goes. So not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd ask because I have listened to 2 songs like I have, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I
it's
think-
good.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well done, mate.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go back around. Let's go to Mr. Mark Morris.
Awesome. So this is a picture of my daughter. This
Nice.
was when she was younger. That's a dog from the Humane Society. She went there every day. She was there so much they did an article on her. She really loves animals. There she is. This is
Wonderful.
the senior picture. I have a whole bunch of more recent pictures. She's married and has a baby now, but I realize it's all digital, so it's on my phone, and I'm using the phone to record. But I wanted to show those because she lived in Los Angeles for a while, and so she's also she has a lot of Beatles albums, not nearly as many as me, but she will have all these albums eventually. But she bought me these Capitol releases. She had a lot more access to earlier pressings, and so she got me some of these old Capitol Beatles albums, the second album, and the Beatles 6, which I have a painting of over there. But I guess you could call this dad rock. But she bought it for her dad. But she loves the Beatles. She's always been interested in records. I didn't have a turntable, but I had like about 40 records I hadn't given away, and she was always like looking at them and she wanted to know how they worked, and she was just amazed by it. And that was, to my delight, I found out, I was talking to her mom one day, and she said, oh yeah, Lexi has those records. And I'm like, she has Beatle records? She has records? And she said, yeah, she bought a turntable and she's been buying Beatle records. Anyway, very happy moment for me. So, Lexi.
Just a quick one there. Yeah, Mark. Didn't she do a video with you a few weeks
She's
ago?
done a few videos. She's done a few videos with me. She did one recently where somebody had given me a Lego set of the
That's
Beatles'
it.
first appearance, and it was like 600 pieces. I cannot do that kind of stuff. And so I just gave it to her, and I said, can you put this together for me and take a little video? She did that. But we used to do a little father-daughter interviews. When she came back from Los Angeles, she would have records, and I would show records. And Later, I found out she really hated that. So I don't make her do that anymore. She didn't hate it, but she wanted the time with me to be with me and not making videos, which I understood. So she's not in the videos as much anymore, but she did do that little Lego video.
I thought that was pretty cool, actually. I enjoyed that video. I did leave a message
Yeah.
saying that. That was a cool video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's super cool. She's just I just love her. She's such a cool kid. She must have got it from her mom, but she's super cool.
I think she got her looks from her dad.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! Thank God she didn't get my look. Definitely her mom's look. I always tell her, you got the best of both worlds. You got your mom's looks, you got my brains, and your own sense of humor. She just turned out to be a masterpiece.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. You mentioned it quickly, so I don't know. We'll have this conversation, or I'll bring it out and put it out there, and then we can discuss if we want to or not. But you mentioned she's eventually going to get all these records. You kind of threw it off as a side note. My kids and I actually had that conversation, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago, something like that. I hope I'm around for a long time still, but maybe I'll sell them all before I go. Who knows? But we did actually start to have that conversation because 2 of the 3 are into. One has a record player, has a turntable at home, and she's all set up and she's good to go. Now I don't know how much of my stuff she would listen to. I know she does a little bit, and I've given her lots of stuff. We overlap a lot on the Green Days of the world and things like that, and the Beatles. And I look over and they're great painting that she did for me of the Beatles. Riley's taste is different, but it overlaps a little bit as well, and I think it overlaps more so from him teaching me some stuff, which was kind of cool. He's the one that introduced me to the Glorious Sons. He's the one that introduced me to a band called Royal Tusk, things like that. But then he's moved out now, but his room was that one right over there. So when I'm out here listening to records, he by osmosis was listening to records. And one time he comes out and he actually goes, "What is that?" And I don't know, you guys will not necessarily be familiar with Gowan, let's say, but he's a Canadian guy. He's the lead singer, or he's with Tommy Shaw and Styx now. But he goes, "What is this? This is really good." So that was pretty cool. It didn't happen a lot. He had his headphones on a lot of the time and was racing, but when he had them off and he was listening, every once in a while he'd come out and go, "What is this?" So, I think there was a little bit of influence. And Chris, my oldest son,
Not me.
No, exactly. You're my oldest. You're my oldest son. But no, Canadian Chris, not Welsh Chris.
There you go.
He listens to some of the stuff that I listen to, but somewhere along the lines, he got into the heavier vein. Like he is more right where I'm AC/DC and Metallica and stuff like that. He is Slayer and Mastodon and bands above that. But he also listens to a lot of what I listen to as well. So that is the really long way of saying, I don't know what's going to happen to this collection. I think they're going to want some of it, maybe if it's still around, but I don't know what, because I come across that at the record store as well, right? Unfortunately, that's where we find collections sometimes, is that mom, dad had a lot of records. They pass. The kids don't necessarily want them. And then what do we do with them? So I don't know. Do you think she'll just take them lock, stock, and barrel, Mark? Or
No, we've had the discussion too. She is not interested in most of my collection. She just wants the Beatles. And it's by far the most interesting part of my collection and the most thorough part of my collection. But she does she's like a little artist, and she's done a lot of art stuff for me. But she's done some little Beatles things for me. We've had the discussion. I used to leave notes in the Beatle albums, like why this is important, why you don't want to just give it away. But she knows so much now. Those notes aren't really necessary anymore. She knows what's in there, and she knows what's worthwhile. My big fear was she was going to get that Yesterday and Today Second State cover where the the butcher cover is behind it.
Yeah.
And that she would give it away or sell it for $15. And I'm like, just this one is a lot different than all these other ones. I have several versions of that, and I'm like, but she knows how to look and decide, if that butcher cover is behind there now, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
But she's not interested in these other.
I just think the normal person wouldn't know how expensive that butcher cover was, though. To be
No.
fair, they wouldn't. Like, I imagine if the collection came in, guy said, "How much is this worth?" You, I'd probably give him $1 for it, and he's going, "Give it here, give it here now."
Right. I've seen that thing. I don't know if anybody's actually getting those prices, but I've seen that the one I have on eBay for sale for like $2,000, $2,500. I can't imagine anybody's paying that much because they're not that rare. I don't think people have 13 copies, so they're not that rare. They're out there, but it's worth something. It's worth more than the $15.
And I think a lot of people know about it now as well, so they're kind of going, yeah.
There is a lot of the times. I don't know how often a whole collection. I don't know why I took us in this direction, and I'll shut up right away. But I don't know if there's been a lot of whole collections gone from mom, dad, and let's not forget the moms on today, as well, because there's lots of moms that raised a lot of kids, being the mom and the dad. But so I don't know if there's a lot of collections that have completely moved down a generation, but more often than not I pulled out the ones that I want, whether it was sentimental or that's what they were listening to, and here's the rest of it. So that does come up quite a bit as well. Not a lot of the times they hang on from one to the next. Like my kids won't listen to a bunch of stuff in here. It's all good, but they just won't listen to it or not have the time to listen to it too. Give them 3,500 records. What are they going to do? Sit there for the next 20 years and just listen to my dad's records?
Right.
I will say, a big inspiration, and I didn't realize it at the time, and I've started collecting them now, and I think Joe knows where I'm going with this, is Mr. Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah.
I
almost pulled him for a dad rock.
I nearly did, but then he reminds me more of my mum. So, do you know what I mean? So I was like, well, yeah. So, yeah, my mum texted me Tuesday. She was like, how's the record fair go? Oh, I picked up some Gordon Lightfoot. She was like, what do you like?
You know what? At that sale yesterday, I saw in people's bundles. I didn't take any. I should have taken some, I guess, because I saw more than one or two people walking around with some Gordon Lightfoot stuff. It was that earlier things.
I've ordered Sundown. I got a good deal on eBay.
Yeah, good. Right on.
Guess what? It's coming from Canada.
It is. Yeah, really. Surprise. Yeah.
Free shipping, Joe, for £10.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. That you have to at that point. Yeah, you have to. So, I don't know whose turn.
I think it's mine. I
think so. Yeah.
Okay, let's go ultimate dad rock, shall we?
Sure.
And I think we'll all agree with this one. How about some Motley Crue?
Sure. Yep.
Generations could go with this. I like the gate. Joe, you're gonna love the gatefold on this. I gotta be careful because the records will fall out. But how about
very nice
that gatefold?
That's good. That is tattooed dad rock. Again, there's different subgenres of dad rock.
So you got Shout the Devil. You got Too Young to Fall in Love, Smoking in the Boys' Room, Kickstart My Heart. That's my favorite one. Sick, a Love Song, Saints of Los Angeles, The Animals in Me. So there's so many on you. But yeah. There you go, a bit of Motley Crue, and I know that Tommy Lee has a new album coming out, which I won't be buying. But
nope. You know what? I don't know if you could get me to a Motley Crue show if you paid me to go. Now. I don't. I mean, I just don't want to tarnish it because I saw them 3 times, and 2 out of 3 were good. So I don't want to make it a 50-50 split and go and see them and they'd suck. Although, yeah. So.
It's kind of the same as Guns N' Roses. I think it's that situation where it's kind of you need to pack it in or take a break at this point because
with Guns though you get Slash.
Yeah,
Axl, God love him. He's trying, man. Like he definitely still gave it everything he had when I saw him a couple years ago in California, and I'd seen them about 5 years before, and still really, really good. But his voice just is not there all the time anymore. It's there sometimes. But you still get Slash. With Crue, you really don't get anybody anymore. So because Tommy is Tommy and Nicky half the time isn't playing his bass guitar, and Vince is Vince. I had this conversation with someone yesterday. It's like you shouldn't be taking people's money anymore. But anyway,
No.
I digress.
On that note, before he absolutely explodes, Joe, over to you.
Okay. You know what, though? Here's a band. I'm going to go with a band that is out on tour, that is still taking people's money, and people are loving it, from what I understand. I have heard nothing but rave reviews. I'm sure there's still some doubters out there, but it is this little band out of Canada, this three-piecer called Rush. There you go. Exactly. I've been waiting for it. And I just went with the big one from them. They have great early stuff. They have great latter stuff, but this is the big one for them. And it's the Moving Pictures in front of the Moving Pictures. Again, I've heard really, really good reviews. They've done this album in its entirety. They did 2112 in its entirety one night when they opened up in Los Angeles. I've got a buddy who was at the record show yesterday from Kelowna, Stacy, who's going to see him in Vancouver. Then he's going to fly to Paris and see them. They're his band. They're his my AC/DC, my Kiss, or whatever. So he's very excited. But there's a whole bunch of idiots out there that, she shouldn't be playing drums. That's not what they're promoting it as. It's not that. And I'm not going to get into that because that's been beat to death all over the place. From what I have heard, she sounds fantastic. And why the hell would Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson pick her if she wasn't going to do well? So shut the hell up. Anyway, and you feel free to argue with me on that one. But so there you go. That's dad rock. And with that said, influencing younger generations, these guys, Crown Lands, you've seen me talk about this a little bit on the store, Chris.
Yeah.
These guys listened to a lot of these guys when they were young, because they are a couple of younger dudes, actually, and they are phenomenal. I saw them open for Kiss, which didn't make a lot of sense, but I was happy that they did because they were fantastic. There is the two young men from Crown Lands. They are just a duo, and they are putting out some unbelievably great music. Very proggy, very out there a little bit, like early Rush, things like that. This is the brand new one. I've got a couple of the other ones over there, but I love the artwork. They've done a nice job with that. It's a fancy kind of a neon green as well, but just really good. So if you're looking for something along the lines of Rush, if you're a fan of that, yes, stuff like that, check these guys out. Give them a listen. Crown Lands, they're from Canada. This is, I think, their third album, could be their second. I can't remember exactly. I should know, and I'm going to put that away later. But yeah, so one of the original dad rock albums, these guys, and then an influence on both them and me, Crown Lands. So I recommend them. Listen, give them a listen, folks, please.
I'm looking here on Amazon. They're not available in the UK.
No? Well,
No.
We'll see if we can get you some. I thought, you know what? It was kind of cool. So, Took, you've heard me talk about
Yes
before. They were playing a festival in Edmonton, Alberta on the weekend. And the young guy from Crown Lands came out and did a cover of Rush, Tom Sawyer with Took. So there's a clip of it and it sounds fantastic. So, because he's, again, he's got a little bit of Geddy Lee voice in him, which some can find good, some can find bad. But if I like the guys that rag on the kids from Greta Van Fleet, if I sounded like Robert Plant, I'd be fucking singing all the time too. So you know what? It is what it is.
I know that Mark loves my how quickly I go online and try and add it to my basket straight away. He's that kid is fast.
That's like solid state FOMO there. That's just like
instant.
The band name barely gets out and it's being delivered.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Lifelong Music Junkie. The YouTube clips of them look great. At some point, maybe we get Rush always like to film a lot of stuff, so maybe we get some stuff, but she's a fantastic drummer. Why the hell would they have asked her if she wasn't going to be able to pull the stuff off? They've practiced, they've done their due diligence forever. And just think of all the Rush music, because they're doing 30 song sets, including whole albums that this young lady had to learn over the last 6 months to a year, right? So there's just those misogynistic assholes that just think that she doesn't belong, but too damn bad. Rush was my first big concert, 88 at Maple Leaf Gardens. That is fantastic. Maple Leaf Gardens is the Canadian equivalent of Madison Square Gardens. That's where you wanted to play. That was the big venue that you wanted to get to if you were a Canadian band of that era, I think. I think that's safe to say. So there you go. Cam, can shut up now.
Record Hound, if you want to come on a live stream, me and Joe, send me a message on Instagram. It'd be good to have you on. Because his collection is insane.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Just the stories, because he, on the show I used to do before, he was always on there with us, and just, I saw those guys. I know those guys. So if you're ever in the market, my friend, come on.
Joe, was that show Jeopardy by any chance?
No, it wasn't actually.
Do you wanna? I'm poking the bear here. Do you wanna?
Yeah. What the hell? I don't know if anybody that watches us hasn't already seen it, but here's the Tournament of Champions promo. Here we go. Yeah, so some of that's out of date, but that's just the promo that I had built before. There has been one semifinal played. It's up there on the channel, so go and check it out because it was a very good game. Right, Mark?
No, it sure was.
Yeah, it was. It was a good game for sure. So
Mark is a bit of a silent ghost there because I watched it and I was like, go on, mate, go on, Mark.
Yeah, he kicked ass. He did well for sure. So, but no spoilers.
We won't say anymore. Go and watch it. And where can they find it, Joe?
Yeah, just on my channel, which is what the hell is my channel called? Is it Racer Report? No, I can't remember. What the hell is my
Racer Records, I think.
Racer Records. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It'll be. We'll put a clip. We'll put a link to it below in this. I don't even know. I haven't gone there a lot myself lately. Again, I need to get the next 2 semifinals recorded, and then we can get to the finals. So that's coming up in the next bit. So stay tuned for that. But go and watch the old episode. Start from the beginning. What the hell? If you haven't seen it, start from the beginning. It's fun. It's just me and all my good buddies hanging out and playing a little bit of trivia. That's all it is.
So Record Hound is saying Nika's got to be great if she was playing for Jeff Beck. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. So I don't know all these guys. Like, I don't know what leg do you have to stand on going, well, I don't know if they're necessarily saying she's not a good drummer, just that they shouldn't be there. But I think if you asked, and I thought Alex forever ago on Beer and Vinyl, would you take any form of a Rush tour? He goes, hell yeah, because I never got a chance to see him. So I'm sure he's either going or is jumping at the bit to go and see. Regardless, of course, it's not Neil. We know that. We get it. But anyway.
I've seen Rush.
Yeah. Yeah, I have as well. Yeah.
I've watched some videos.
Yeah, I watched, I've said this before, and I sound like I get a big-headed twat, but I saw them at the Taylor Hawkins tribute in Wembley.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like their first kind of comeback.
Yes.
And it was, I've said this before, Liz knew more songs than I did, and I've become a fan since, obviously, watching them live. But they were amazing. And I couldn't believe how much the lead singer's still got dark hair.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's real for the most part. I think.
Yeah.
Unlike a few other bands out there, like Gene Simmons' hair has not moved for the last 20 years. Neither
mine hasn't either, Joe.
Oh, mine either.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm not saying much more of mine, but okay. So, am I getting this right? I hope I am. Mark,
you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over to you, mate.
Yep.
Yes, I believe Emma from 8 Vinyl Low. I think she's going to see Rush in your favorite city of Toronto.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think I remember seeing something like that. But funny you mentioned that Jeopardy episode, because one of the questions on there was a gatefold question, and it was about Electric Light Orchestra, which I think is I don't know. I think this as dad rock. The gatefold is spectacular.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so, but Electric Light Orchestra was just one of those bands that first time I heard them, I just fell in love with them, and still love them to this day. I love anything Jeff Lynne really has anything to do with. He's really the Traveling Wilburys, for example.
Yeah.
But Electric Light Orchestra, John Lennon said one time, if the Beatles had stayed together, it'd probably been something like Electric Light Orchestra. So there's probably a reason I was drawn to that. But yeah, Electric Light Orchestra, this is out of the blue, famous double album.
They don't necessarily, and they should fall into that pantheon of bands that everybody talks about. They should fall into that, but they don't, right? Everybody talks about the Beatles, talks about the Stones, talks about, even Queen, I think, gets a little more, and I love Queen, and I'm not saying one is better than the other, but ELO doesn't get as many mentions, at least in my perception, that I think that they should.
Yeah, I would say that's a fair assessment. I really love them.
Yes.
I don't know what else to say about it. I've listened that, of course, the big one when I was like coming of age was A New World Record. And man, I played the hell out of that thing. Just played the hell out of it. I had a series for a while called Records I Love, and A New World Record was one of those records I spent an episode going over, but just a great band.
Yeah. And they changed their sound a little bit, right? When they got into the 80s, just like everybody else did. And that
Discovery,
yeah,
was almost a disco sound to it.
It was very much so. But Lynn was trying to do, was trying to update himself a little bit. But so yeah, the early output is much more my style. Again, love it. But then along comes the Wilburys, and he's doing all that stuff and just
right. He's just so good with production. That Discovery album came out, and I was in high school, and I was talking to my friend Brian on the phone, and he's like, "What in the hell are you listening to?" And I said, "Oh, that's the ELO's new album, Discovery." And he says, "You are dangerously close to disco, Mark."
Yeah, well, the Rolling Stones did it, Kiss did it, everybody did it. It was
right.
So yeah, for sure. Speaking of, go ahead, Chris. No,
go on. You go ahead, because I've got a recommendation. Okay. For a documentary.
Just a comment from Lifelong. If the Stones can tour without Charlie Watts, Rush can tour as well. Exactly. It's not the same comparisons, but you're right. That core of Mick and Keith and Charlie, right, along with Ronnie and stuff like that. But yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And then just to, because we trust Warp Dog's point.
And let's face it, those drum parts weren't that complicated. I'm sure she'll do fine.
Exactly. It was just really keeping a beat. That's all it ever was. Yeah, the man was unbelievably great, for sure. And then saw Jeff Lynne's ELO in Norway in 2018. I bet that would have been fantastic. That for me is a miss, for sure. Is not a regret. That's not, when we talk about bands that we should have seen and we didn't, ELO 100% falls into that category for me. So
okay. 2 secs. Now, I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to Joe because I haven't spoken like face to face for my record player has been playing up. So yes, I have spoken to him yesterday face to face.
We've been talking about other stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Any recommendations, Joe? Or because I've got one.
I haven't watched anything, I guess, necessarily music related for a while, but I will suggest Widow's Bay on Apple TV for a TV show to watch. Very cool. Good show. I got one episode to go. So so not really
I have as well.
Yeah. So not a music documentary, but yeah, it's been really good. I have enjoyed it. So, but what did you watch? The
lead actor is Welsh.
Yeah, is he? Well, cool. Yes. Yeah, he's been great. Everybody in it has been fantastic. I've enjoyed it.
So my recommendation for this week is going to be Bon Scott's High Voltage Life as AC/DC Frontman, which is on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I will put a link in the description so you can go ahead and watch it after you check out Mark's channel.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, I mean, as big of an AC/DC fan as I really don't care one way or the other. I love Bond's stuff and what it was and his output,
Yeah.
and I love Brian's stuff and what it was and his output.
It's really pretty amazing to think that you would lose, such an integral part of the band, that frontman singer, and that they could go on to even bigger success. And it really is. I'm the same way. I lean a little towards Bond, but I am fine with. They really got a great replacement there.
Yeah. If it
I don't think a lot of bands could pull that off.
And
but-
another one to check out is Brian Johnson on YouTube, where he interviews a few rock stars. I don't know if you two guys have seen it, but he's got his own YouTube channel. He hasn't done nothing for years. I think he done it in lockdown. He's had Dave Grohl on it. Fuck, I can't remember his name. The lead singer from Led Zeppelin.
Robert Plant.
Rob Plant.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry, Chris.
No,
he's had him on. He's had him on there. Robert Plant turned up on a horse and a sword, running with a horse over a bridge, which I thought, okay, fair enough, mate. Because he lives in Wales now. They're all moving to Wales. What
They're
the
all
hell?
moving to
Go
Wales.
away.
So where all the cool kids are hanging out. Yeah, no, that's a great series. He did with oh my god, no, I can't remember who's the drummer for Pink Floyd. What's his name?
Oh, Travis Barker.
No,
Richard Wright.
Mason.
Yeah.
Right, Nick Mason. Yeah, he
Nick
does
Mason.
a great one with him because they're both car guys, right? Brian's a
Yeah.
huge car guy, and so is Nick, obviously. So, yeah, it's a great series. Good stuff with Brian. I think if it wouldn't have been for the awesomeness of Back in Black, they might not have pulled it off. But the fact that they went from the arguably the best Bon Scott album with Highway to Hell to arguably the best Brian Johnson album, they pulled it off. So,
Cool. I have no idea who's next.
I think it's Joe. Or
Oh,
is
is
it
it?
you? It's not me, is it? No, I
Wait.
just finished.
Okay,
yeah,
so it's
you
my
read
go.
ELO, so it's Chris.
Okay, Dad Rock. Here we go. This makes me feel very old now. It's the White Stripes.
Jeez.
The
Now
White
we're
Stripes
getting
is
a little
Dad
young.
Rock?
Yeah, because they came back. They came out in the early 2000s, mate. When I was
Oh,
in college.
I think of them as kind of cutting edge.
Yeah. And I've said this before, and I will say it again. I prefer the White Stripes to Jack on his own.
Yeah. Just Meg's influence or just the
Just the
output that he
the
did?
music. I just love the music. Just two of them just rocking out. It's raw. I love it. And let's be honest, when Seven Nation Army came out, we've never heard anything like that.
No, for sure. It definitely had a sound. Yes.
And it was the most simple music video you could think of.
Mhm.
It was just them two and kind of going through them. I don't have to explain it, but so fucking hell, Screwdriver. You've got I Just Don't Know What to Do with Myself was a big one in Britain. Blue Orchid was another big one, and obviously Seven Nation Army was a big one as well. This one was on black vinyl. These are getting harder and harder to find. I did start collecting White Stripes at one point in lockdown. It's like, what are you doing? But I decided to sell them, and I bought the greatest hits because I thought to myself, well, that's pretty much all I will need from them, if I'm being honest. But I may revisit it going forward into the future. But brilliant band. Wish they get back together, to be honest. It's one of them bands I've seen live, and they were just freaking amazing. Like just two of them. That was it. That they may have had some guy on a guitar in the background, but pretty much it was just him and Meg, and they were just amazing.
That's cool.
So yeah, Dad Rock.
Wow.
Never thought I'd mention the White Stripes.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about.
I'm not 64. I am 43. So, to me, this is Dad Rock, and Alid, Liz's kid, loves Seven Nation Army. He's like, put that song on again. That's amazing. Probably because it's raw. And,
40.
Yeah, I know.
43, you really could be my kid. God damn it. But anyway, Jack White has done so much for the vinyl
Yes.
resurgence, though, which is pretty cool.
So huge Beatles fan.
Yeah.
Huge Beatles fan.
if I ever found myself in Detroit, probably not, but I would make a point of getting to Third Man Records and checking that stuff out. So, and yeah, I was going to point that out. That's a
Yeah.
great point. Yeah, for sure. Geordie, which I don't have that album. I have Brian's solo album somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's over there, but yeah, that helped as well. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess White Stripes is dad rock. Sure, it is.
It is though,
It
isn't
is.
it?
No, I
'Cause
know it is. I know exactly. Exactly.
Oh, in you two cases, it's granddad rock.
Yeah. That no,
Right,
not yet.
right.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
He is. No, I'm not. Maybe
Oh,
when
that's
I'm
true.
64.
That's true. Yeah, when you hit 64, man,
Wait.
things change.
You hit
Shit
64.
changes. Exactly.
Can I ask a quick question? Did you play the Beatles when I'm 64 on your 64? Did you do it?
Of course I did. That was
Yes.
the whole point. I played it all day long, and when I wasn't near a music device, I was singing it to people. I've waited all those years to do that, and yeah, it was great. I can do it all year long because I'm 64 this whole year.
You are.
That's the only reason it's significant to me, because of that song. When I turn 65, it's going to be kind of a letdown. I don't know of any 65 songs that I really enjoy.
Wait till you get to 69.
Yes. Or
Joe's
or
looking around going, "You stop swearing, please."
No.
or when you get six, seven, the kids at the shelter are going to love that. Hopefully that thing will be died out by then. But
I hope so. I never understood it in the first damn place, but that's because I'm old.
that's right.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with a band from 80s that are still trying to do a little bit of stuff. But so again, there are different dads listening to different dad rock. I happen to listen to a wide variety of, but this is one that I had been looking for a while, and I still like to find my stuff in the wild. I don't necessarily order off of Discogs, but I like to look for it in other shops when I'm in different towns, or in collections when I pick them up, or however I can find it. But anyway, long story short, I finally found Faster Pussycat. This is one that I've been looking for a while. And then it pissed me off because I was a little late getting there, and I set up, and then we opened and someone bought the other one because their second album I want as well. But anyway, so doesn't necessarily fall into the general dad rock category, but I'm a dad and it's rock and I like it. It's that greasy, like I've talked about the Four Horsemen, Motley Crue, right? It's of that ilk, but great band out of Los Angeles. Tie Me Down is the name. Very, very tongue-in-cheek stuff. Bathroom Wall, for those that don't know, you'll probably recognize that song, but it's a very good album, and it's one that I've been looking for quite a while. It was actually this, and then these guys, Kicks, which are about the same time frame. Another kind of a hair metal band, but not really a hair metal band. Kind of like Cinderella was of that generation. I don't know why I keep doing this. Stop doing that, Joe. I sit on my damn hands. Of that generation, but we're not necessarily hair bands. Motley Crue was a hair band. Poison was a hair band. Winger, things like that. But there was kind of a subgenre of that bluesy, sleazy rock, and these guys both fall into it. So these are two that I've been looking for actively for a while, and finally got a chance to find them in the wild. So I was
Hey
pretty
Joe,
stoked.
do you know the history of where they got their name? Because there's a cult movie called Faster Pussycat Kill.
Yeah.
And is that what it's from?
I believe so. I don't know
okay.
if that's ever been officially what it is, but yeah, was it Sid Meier's or something? I can't remember.
Oh dear God.
We'll look it up. I'll look it up. But
yes.
no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and I believe that's the case. There's the old black and white, big buxom brunette women, low budget stuff. But yeah, that's where it comes from, is Faster Pussycat Kill, which I think comes a little bit from an old James Bond too. Like, didn't he get that? Wasn't there? I don't know if there was. I know there was Pussy Galore. Maybe that's
Pussy Galore.
Yeah, Pussy Galore. Yeah. No, that was Mike Myers and Austin Powers. Or was it? No, that was Ivana.
No, that was a real James Bond character.
That's right.
No, Mr. Bond, I want you to die.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right.
So there you
Okay.
go. Whether that
Oh.
falls into the category for real or not, don't know. But I'm a dad, and it's rock, and I like it. So there you go. And I finally found it, so I was just happy to show it.
Anything with pussy in, mate, I'm up for it. Okay, Mark, over to you.
So wasn't something I would have normally picked out, but I just bought it yesterday, and it was laying out, and I'm like, well, this is probably would be definitely dad rock. I don't know if, oh my God, I just lost the lens of my glass, so I hope I don't have to do too much reading. Anyway, Chris Christopherson, this is from 1981, live at Austin City Limits. I picked this up at Walmart yesterday because it sounds crazy, but it's a double album, only 3 sides, but it was only $27, and it came with a DVD of the concert. And he's more famous for writing songs for other people like me and Bobby McGee, Janis Joplin, and Sunday Morning Coming Down, Johnny Cash. But I'd never owned a Chris Christopherson record before, and I saw it there, and it comes on this really super cool vinyl. But I talk about this in my most recent video. But look at this thing. I think they call it turquoise, but it's a clear turquoise thing. Cool. Not something I probably listen to a lot. I do like the versions that other people have done probably better than him, which must have been frustrating to be such a talented songwriter and then other people get big hits. But there's some great stuff on here. The one that really stuck out to me is The Pilgrim. Have you guys ever heard Chris Christopherson's song, The Pilgrim? Really good song.
Not sure off the top of my head or not.
I
but-
talk about it in my video, but the reason I was even aware of it was because I'm a big fan of that movie Taxi Driver from 1976, the Martin Scorsese one with Robert De Niro. And I've watched it a million times. And Sybil Shepherd is talking to Robert De Niro, and she says, "You reminded me of that Chris Christopherson song, partly truth, partly fiction, a walking contradiction." And I always wondered what song she was referencing. And I'm listening to this album, and that comes out, and it turns out it's a really cool song too. But I would say Chris Christopherson, maybe Granddad Rock, even our great Granddad Rock.
He'd fall into that for sure. And again, you're right. Like, just killer songwriting. I listened to Jesus Was a Capricorn a little while ago, which was, I don't know if there's a big album for him, but that's probably one of them. But yeah, he had a really good career of writing, and then he put out a lot of music as well. So, and he's in The Highwaymen, so with Willie and Waylon. And,
super
and
cool
Bonnie,
guy.
right? Yeah,
a really smart guy. He seems like some simple kind of country guy, but he's one of those Rhodes Scholars, and reportedly his IQ is like 106 or was 163. Just a real interesting guy in interviews. I just seemed like a super cool guy, but I'd never owned any records until yesterday.
Was he the Bradley Cooper to Barbara in
A Star Is Born?
Like,
yep, that was him.
Yeah,
I'd never seen that, but I bet it's okay.
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a good. That's one of my favorite kind of music.
The Chris Christopherson, Barbara Streisand one. Awesome.
Yeah,
I've never
really,
seen.
really enjoyed that. Talking about a killer album, this makes a good gateway. So talking about dad rock, it's the Killers.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh yeah.
So, I know Joe's got direct hits. This is the most up-to-date one. So it's called Rebel Diamonds. Obviously, because they're from Las Vegas, this makes more sense. Don't like their new album. I thought it was crap, to be honest. But their newer stuff, like Hot Fuzz and the rest of it were amazing. Joe's going to love The Gatefold on this one.
I know that one. Yeah, it's good. See, there's a reason, and I'd like to say I made up the rule. I think I did. I was the first one to say it, at least that I knew of. Anyway, if it's got a gatefold, you got to show it. So there you go. There are certain ones that really apply the rule.
It's just on black vinyl. I'll go through some of the tracks on this, mate. Like, they're amazing. Because I tell you what triggered this. I was listening to BBC Radio 2 and they were talking about music. And they had a guy on there going, oh, yeah, my son was talking about dad rock and the Killers came up. And I was like, wait a freaking minute. Hang on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got, obviously, Mr. Brightside was this smash hit. All the things I've done. Somebody told me when you were young, read my mind. You've got The Man Caution, Dying Breed, Boy, The Side of This Town, Spirit. What I liked about this, Joe, you need to pick this up, actually. You need this version.
Yeah.
And so it came with a booklet. So, but the booklet is amazing because it takes you through their history and their albums step by step.
Very nice.
So, but like I said, the newer stuff, I'm not a fan. So, but
they're on my list of bands that I'd like to see still. They just haven't been anywhere that I've wanted to, I guess, necessarily travel to yet, and or they've never been around. Even back in the olden days, good Christ, see, they do fall into dad rock, because I just said in the olden days, good Christ, like in the mid 2000s, holy shit. Anyway, you would have seen them open for someone, right? But they never did.
When I was a boy sitting on my grandpa's knee, when the TV was black and white, the Killers came on with
right.
Mr. Brightside, and then the TV turned to color.
She looked like a girl I used to know last
Yeah.
year. Holy shit. Okay, I'm just going to shut the hell up for a while. You guys talk.
But like, you go back, I think I'm gonna go early 2000s on this one. Came out. But yeah, it's good. It's a good album to actually have because you've got all the hits on this one.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
in them days, we listened to music on a cylinder.
Right. We used to put on the Edison cylinders and play them.
Yeah.
Good.
If we wanted to talk to next door neighbor, we had to put a cup on our ear and there was like a string going to next door.
And we liked it that way. Why did things have to go and change?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, we're done with our old timey voices.
Yeah. So
now.
there we go. The Killers. When I went back and I was like, yeah, it probably would be dad rock at this point now for me with the
Sure.
kids.
Well, that's the thing.
So-
At what point, like, is there a time frame that we have to think about? I don't know what it is.
Well,
I'm not
I was
sure.
I was talking to Alid about this a couple of days ago, and he said, "Would the Stereophonics be dad rock?" I went, "Shut your mouth right now."
Yeah, exactly. So, but
Yes.
he's got a point, a little bit, maybe.
He's-
I guess at this
And
point.
anyway, we'll move on very quickly, Joe.
Yeah. Okay, fine. We'll do that. I was looking for a picture. I couldn't find it, but we went to Kiss Golf when we were in Vegas, and of course, because the Killers were from, they had a nice cartoonish picture of them up on the wall, which was cool. So here's another one that I'd found recently that I had been looking for a while that shouldn't have taken me this long. Those other two that took me a little while, but again, in the wild. And it is Mr. Eddie Money. He definitely falls into, I think, into dad rock. Just good stuff. Of course, we all know 2 Tickets to Paradise, things like that. But this is the one that he did with Ronnie from Ronnie James. Not Ronnie James. Good Lord. What is Ronnie's name? Mark, you know Ronnie's name, right? Ronnie Spector. I guess you wasn't always Ronnie Spector, but we'll go with Ronnie Spector. But, just like Ronnie sang, good stuff. Eddie Money passed away.
I'm not going to sing it. Sorry.
All right. No, that's fine. I don't have a problem with you. That's good. Exactly. Passed away a little while ago. Now it's a little while ago. I guess that's another definition of dad rock, is if some of the artists have started to pass away, it might fall into the dad rock category. But this is one that I did not have from Eddie. Again, I've got 2 Tickets to Paradise. I've got all that older stuff, but really, really good. And Take Me Home Tonight on here. So there you go. Eddie Money, a little dad rock for you.
Good one.
Yeah.
I this comment. Now someone explain A-Trax to Chris. I know what A-Trax is. It wasn't that big in the UK though.
Yeah.
It just we had
Those things are
tapes.
so awful. I had an 8-track player, And just right in the middle of the song, there'd be this as it moved to the other track. Just awful. I can't believe those things were around as long as they were.
Exactly.
But
I'm
people
gonna-
have giant collections of those, and it's kind of interesting to see.
I'm just gonna ask Joe a question. You've been a record store owner. Has anybody handed you a collection when they've got 8-tracks in them?
They have not yet tried to do that. I did get some in a different collection. There's been a few cassettes in boxes, like in that last box that is just the crap or whatever of the 45 sometimes, and that there's been a few cassettes. But I don't believe there's ever been some 8-tracks. I have 2 right down there, though, because I have the Beatles' greatest hits, or whatever you want to call them, the blue and the red. That's the only thing I have them on CD, album, cassette, and 8-track. That's the only that I have all of them. So that's why I have those 8-tracks around. But yeah, you never had the pleasure, but Mark and I had the pleasure of listening to that. It worked great in the car, which was good, but man, it just sounded like shit.
Oh, it was awful. I had one of those Panasonic things that kind of looked like a dynamite plunger, and you hit it, and it
I know what
changed
you
the
mean.
track.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Shall I unlock a memory in your guys' heads now?
Sure.
Do you remember when CDs or like Bluetooth, or not Bluetooth, but like iPods first come out, and there was a product available that had a tape that had a wire on it that went from your car stereo, from the tape into your iPod or your phone? Do you remember this?
Oh yeah,
No?
100%. Sure.
I don't remember it at all.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what an iPod is, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Before you, so
Yeah.
you would plug into the headphone jack of your iPod or whatever, and then there would be the cassette that would go in, and it would somehow make it work, and it sounded horrible as well. So
And do you remember just after that they tried to do mini discs?
yes,
Do you
yeah,
remember the
I
mini
do remember
discs?
that. Do you remember the laser disc period, like in the early 80s, maybe late 70s, where the laser disc, I know Bowie was kind of big into them. They looked just like LPs, but you played them in a laser player,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
it was video music.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I 100% remember. Yeah, laser discs. There wasn't a bunch, but they come up every once in a while, and they almost fall into that nostalgic category where people will pick them up because they didn't look horrible. I mean, they looked better than VHS did for sure. There was that generation, but then fairly quickly DVDs came around, which now look like shit.
Let me just stop you right there. For some reason in the UK, VHS are making a comeback. I have no idea why.
There's a community. And it's been around a long time. Diehard VHS people, and I've been trying to get rid of mine, but people, for one reason or another, I think there must be a nostalgic appeal to it or something. Just kind of like vinyl. Like, who would have guessed vinyl would come back? But there is this VHS.
Mark, do you remember if you watched a certain? I'm just going to put this politely. If you watched a certain scene too many times, you used to get the line.
I don't know
across the
why this is
screen.
going so crazy here. This 9.5 weeks movie that I've been watching right here gets a little screwy. I don't know what's going on.
Something's up with it. Yeah, exactly. But, oh, yeah. And I mean, then, yeah, you can get into the VHS. But Mark, you're being the horror fan, right? There was so much stuff.
I have a ton of it. I've been, he's kind of a vinyl guy, but he's kind of he just collects a lot of stuff. His name's David, and he's Garage Geek. He collects those VHS, and every couple months I pack up a bunch and send them to him. He just thinks they're great.
Yep. Yeah, Disney, all the Disney stuff too, the early Disney VHS stuff, that's still sought after, it seems like, as well. That stuff will sell. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you'll never sell, but you'll sell your Disney and your horror.
Yep. Luxie had a huge, my daughter had a huge collection of those Disney VHS, and oh my God, those strawberry shortcake things, man, that tortured me watching those things.
Yes.
Tortured.
Yeah. There you go. Warp Dog talking about tape hiss. Yeah, exactly.
That's what they call it these days.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? So back to radio days. I'm going to get older even on you. Back to the radio days where it wasn't a computer that ran all the music. We had to actually play turntables, and
Yeah.
we played things that were called carts, and that's what the commercials were on. So as a guy that would have to go and do the commercials, it was never first take, but you started recording, and then all you did is you would cut the tape actually. So it was much like an 8-track tape. You'd have to cut and splice, and
Right.
there was a whole
Right.
machine, and you would make it up. So yeah. So, and the best was the pencil, right? There's always the meme that
Yep.
comes out of the cassette deck and the pencil, and the
Yep.
pencil smoking a cigarette, or the cassette deck is smoking a cigarette, one or the other. The cassette, pardon me. So, because that's how you tightened up your cassettes if they got buggered up, is you stuck a pencil in there, you spun it around, and away you go. You couldn't do that. You couldn't do that with an 8-track. 8-track, you just threw it out and went and bought
Yep,
another.
it was done.
Yeah.
And they broke a lot, man. Or they would get eaten up in the mechanism, and you'd be trying to pull it out and not ruin the whole 8-track player.
Exactly. That's right.
Okay.
They're
My
not-
turn. My turn next.
It is. Yes.
I did mention this earlier on. It does break my heart to show this as a dad rock. It's the Stereophonics. It's
Oh, really? I was going to make a joke about that, but really?
so this is the live album live from Dakota. So
It's one of
have
my
to clap-
favorites from them.
well, yes. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. It's like I work for them at this point.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's okay.
But Joe's picked up a few albums. I've sent him a few. He's enjoying it.
it's
I
good.
don't know if he's been polite or,
No,
but
no, I've enjoyed them for sure.
it's got all the hits up until 2006 at this point. So yeah, it would have Dakota on it, obviously. Too Many Sandwiches, Just Looking, Dakota, Bartender Thief. So yeah. This is a weird one. I bought this off eBay. This was a record store day release, only released in America. And Joe keeps teasing me about this, going, "Well, you must have been the only one then." But it does come on white vinyl. But it's a live recording. The only live recording they ever did. Breaks my heart. Yes, they are a dad rock band at this point.
Wow.
Mark, did you go? I don't know if you went. Did you go, Mark?
I can't remember, but
Okay, so well, give me a second, and then you go. So because I'm gonna tell a little story. I'm gonna tell a story. Sit down, kids, and gather around as Grandpa tells a story. So we talked about earlier the fact I haven't watched any rock documentaries in a while. What I have been watching a bit of is I watched Rick Beato interview George Stroumboulopoulos.
Yes.
And I'm not making that name up. It's for real. George is a Canadian guy, did a lot of stuff with Much Music back in the day, and has done a lot of interviews, whether they be rock or politicians and things like that. He worked for the CBC, which is our BBC, your PBS to a certain extent anyway, although they have commercials on CBC. He had a show called, he had a lot of different shows, but he also did a bunch of series of concerts right from his own home. He actually invited the bands, and then he put it out there back in the day, and he had about 100 or so people off the street would come to his house. The Cult was the very first one. Anyway, long story short, which it's not at this point, is I watched Rick Beato, who was in Toronto to interview Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson from Rush and Annika, and they're good. You should watch those. But he talked to George. They've been friends for a long time. He quotes George as one of his influences in interviewing people, actually. But there's a story that they tell near the end that the Stereophonics, and this is why I bring it up, were big fans of these guys, which is the Tragically Hip. So the Tragically Hip, not necessarily, much like the Stereophonics don't fall into dad rock, the Tragically Hip might not fall into dad rock as well. But I pulled them out because as a Canadian and as a dad, they do as well. But the Stereophonics were big fans of the Tragically Hip, and they were also big fans of Mother Love Bone out of Seattle. And they actually toured early as Mother Hip Bone, and they would play Tragically Hip songs in their sets, and people would go, "Oh, that's really good. Is that your guys?" No, it's this Canadian band. So, we talked about, I don't know, 6 or 7 shows ago, bands that were big where we were that weren't necessarily big elsewhere, but there was a bit of crossover that I didn't even know about at the time. Chris, you didn't know about at the time either.
No.
Of the Stereophonics and their fondness of this Canadian band called the Tragically Hip. So I don't need to get into the Hip. We've talked about them a lot before, and they're fantastic, and I am a really big fan. But it was kind of interesting to know, again, that a small band from Wales in the UK called the Stereophonics were big fans and used to do some of their stuff live. And people would question, oh, is that you guys? No, it's not. It's this band out of Canada. So that was kind of neat to find out. So I haven't watched any rock documentaries, but I do recommend both the Rick Beato's interview of George and then going and looking for George's stuff because it's pretty good. And yeah, Warp Dog, being a fellow Canuck, George is a legend. Joe's not kidding. He was a CBC radio for a lot of years. Yeah, exactly. Diverse show, incredible music knowledge. He's just a really, really good guy. If you go to his channel, you will sit there for a while and go down the rabbit hole of fantastic interviews and live shows from right in his house, and just a bunch of really, really good stuff. He's got a really good one with Neil Peart where they actually go through every song on I showed it earlier on Moving Pictures and just where it came from, because Neil was the songwriter in Rush, the lyricists anyway. So it's good stuff. Go and check it out. So Mark, we jumped over you. We apologize because yeah.
I think it was Ian that left a comment in the live stream who was on with us, who'd done the punk one from Cardiff, and he said, did you know that the Stereophonics on their first album did a single, but it's not on vinyl, it's on one of the extended versions on their CDs from that album.
One of those.
That's why I hadn't heard of it, because I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm the biggest Stereophonics fan here. What are you talking about? And I went back and I was like, shit, he's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent it to Chris. I said, watch the whole thing, but specifically watch this part. So yeah, it was kind of cool. It was kind of neat.
There was a scene with he's talking about Gordon Lightfoot as well, which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
Gordon Lightfoot. In his front room, I was like, what?
I know. And then he's doing one of these, spoiler alert, he's doing one of these concerts. I think it was John Prine. And he wasn't invited, not that he couldn't have been, but Gordon Lightfoot just shows up at George's house, rings the bell. Hey, I heard you're doing something with John today. Can I come in and watch? It's like,
that's awesome. Isn't that awesome? That's cool.
Yeah, it's very good. George does a lot of really, really good stuff. I like Rick's interviews as well. Rick's good channel to watch, but make sure you check out Strombolopolis. I know it sounds like a made-up name, but it's not. So
he's really good on Apple Music. His show's called The Strombo Show.
Yeah.
And he discovers new music and music you forgot about, and it's brilliant.
It is very good.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Mark, if we left you out, I apologize profusely.
I'm not sure you did, but
maybe we didn't. I don't know. But either way, we're apologizing because we're good. We're good.
I like apologies. So.
Yeah.
So this might be one that you might have had on your list, Chris, but I was going through records and I'm like, I suppose this would probably be dad rock. And I picked Springsteen's The River. One of the reasons I picked it is one, I talk about Nebraska way too much. Or the other one that you just, I think I can't remember if it was on Instagram or YouTube, that Darkness on the Edge of Town. That's another one I love. But I don't talk about this one very much. But for Father's Day, one of my favorite songs about a father and son is Independence Day off of this album. Just heart-wrenching. Everybody knows that Bruce and his father had a kind of a strained relationship. And that's one of the reasons I like Bruce, is because he kind of encapsulates kind of the relationship I had with my father. It was definitely strained, but these songs just really speak to me. But this is, of course, a giant album for Bruce Springsteen. Hungry Heart's on here. Cadillac Ranch. So big double album for Bruce, but I'm sure he would be considered dad rock now.
Yeah.
I put it up as a short.
Yes, I couldn't remember.
Yes.
Was it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you left a comment going,
That's
Now
what
we're
I'm talking
talking.
about.
Now we're
Yeah.
talking about it.
I love that album. I love it. I talk about it way too much, but I love that album.
Okay, so if you love that album, you need to get this album. And I'm sorry for people who are watching this later and in the chat, but this is bloody brilliant. This is Bruce Springsteen in Broadway. Now
Oh,
you talk about this is kind of like a intro. So he describes what he was going through in his life. And the first two tracks he's talking about his dad
Mhm.
and how he had to, his mother would send him to the pub to tell his dad it's time to go home, and he'd go, right, go and tell your mother, I'll be 2 minutes, that kind of stuff. Mark, please get this album. I'm begging you. It's
I will.
brilliant.
If I had your abilities, I'd have it ordered by now. But
Yeah.
So
is it a single album? What is it?
no, I'll show you. Hang on. It's a box set.
Oh, awesome.
So you're looking like four-sided, like four sets, but there's only two tracks on each side because most of the time he's taking up space, talking to the crowd, telling them how he came up with this. So you've got Dancing in the Dark, Land of Hope and Dreams. You've got Born to Run, The Ghost of Tom Jude, The Rising, Tougher Than the Rest, Brilliant Disguise, Long Time Coming, Thunder Road, The Promised Land. Listen to that. The Promised Land. He's talking with his dad. It's brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Born in the USA, Freeze Out, and then you've got Growing Up, Hometown, My Father's House, which is amazing. The way he describes that, it's
I bet.
brilliant.
I bet.
And the Wish. These come all on black vinyl, but you can see like it's just packed. If you look there, you can see the intro and him talking about it. It's brilliant. And this obviously comes out. I'll just show you really quick. So
Is it like $1 zillion?
no, this is probably picked this up from the record fair for about £30. So
Oh really? That's not bad.
in Canadian $60, Joe. I usually
Yeah,
double
about
it.
that, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I ain't buying
probably-
Canadian though.
Yeah.
So
probably
yeah,
40-ish for Mark, probably.
That'd
Yeah,
be-
probably.
that sounds
Mark,
good.
Mark, I listened today after I fixed the stylus. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, I
uh,
didn't really help, but you're welcome.
it's absolutely phenomenal.
I'll definitely get it. His stories when I watched Deliver Me from Nowhere, there's just so many similarities, and I think it was that generation and kids. We had a lot of the same kind of tension there. And one of the things in my family, when you got old enough to drive, you were the one that had to go pick dad up from the bar. And it was just like a rite of passage in our house. It's like, oh, Mark, you got the car now.
Go pick
It's time
that
to
up.
go get dad.
Well, and in Deliver Me from Nowhere, for those that haven't watched it, you should. It's different. It's not what I expected, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. And part of the reason why was Stephen Graham as his dad. in that.
amazing.
Great job.
Stephen Graham is
Great
one
job.
one of the best current actors out there. On top of it, but yeah, he just did a fantastic portrayal of playing Bruce's dad. Good, bad, indifferent. But yeah, Stephen Graham, like I said, he's worth the price of admission alone. On a lot of these shows these days. So,
And if you hear his normal voice, you'd think, how the hell did he put that accent on?
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
really?
Yeah. No,
He's
but
I think he's from Liverpool or Newcastle. And it's
Really? I
very,
would have never guessed in a zillion
It's-
years.
very strong. Even I have to lip read at some point going,
Yeah.
"Right, what are
Wow.
you saying?"
yeah. But
Wow.
I remember him back to, off topic a little bit, but I remember him back to Boardwalk Empire when he was on there, when he played that, when he was in Peaky Blinders, the parts that he played in Peaky Blinders. and then the series that he did about him and his son. I can't remember what that was called. The one where it was over the 4 days. The 4 episodes where Stephen Graham, like I said, the show is good. It's not maybe what you think it's going to be. It's not a biopic of Bruce Springsteen, but it's very good. And Stephen Graham is unbelievable. I had a friend that went to the Broadway shows and just said, and he's seen Bruce like 30 times. He said that was probably, if not his favorite one, like 1 and 2 from some other show that he went to. So that it was pretty
Now,
fantastic.
I love Nebraska, like you know, guys, right? I love it to death. But this album is, because there's a story behind it, and Bruce is talking to the crowd. It hit home more for me.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to today, and even Liz was like, "That's interesting. I didn't know that." Like the backstory of the song and picking his dad up, but it goes through. Mark, you're gonna love this. So it goes through his early years up until nowadays, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
Yeah.
giving you a
No.
life story of his songs.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds exactly what I'd want to hear too.
Yeah. But you've gotta put your mobile phone to one side and just put the record on and just close your eyes and listen. It's
That's what
one
I
of them.
normally do anyway. So
Just don't fall asleep petting the dog, but you'll be fine.
I won't.
Yeah.
My dog's
So-
getting ready to fall off the couch. She like I said, she's blind. You might hear a big crash. She's right on the edge there.
It's right on the
Get right on the edge.
Yeah. Stop feeding her beer. She'll be fine. Right. Joe, over to you, mate.
All right. So we've talked a lot of big guns in the dad rock category. This is probably one of the biggest guns as well. And it is Pink Floyd. And this is my copy, the anniversary of Wish You Were Here. I don't think we brought Pink Floyd up yet. Well, I brought up Nick Mason, but this is my favorite Pink Floyd album. I've listened to The Wall more. Dark Side is Dark Side. Earlier stuff is earlier stuff, and latter stuff is latter stuff. But this for me is just the fantastic, and it's very cool because it's the box set, so it's got all the outtakes, and then it's got all of a bunch of stuff like disc 3. Is it disc 3? Yeah, there's all the Wish You Were Here's on there, and just everything on this is very, very good, and they definitely fall into the category. I think if you were to ask someone dad rock, Pink Floyd would probably fall into it, trying to get it level. Yeah, it's just a solid album and a great reissue. Pink Floyd's been doing a lot of reissues of stuff as of late because, you know, Roger and is trying to make as much money as he possibly can. They've got that new one, 8 tracks, is it? I think, speaking of 8 tracks, that is out, where there's some other guitar solos that didn't make the cut on certain albums and things like that. So love them or hate them. And I think for the most part, I will love them. Other than Roger Waters, I could do with a lot of less of his bullshit. I still went and saw him live because it was my only chance to kind of see them. But Gilmour is one of the greatest guitar players.
Gilmour is
ever.
spectacular.
Yeah.
I remember when they broke up and somebody was playing Roger Waters, The Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking.
Yeah.
And I was at a party and I just heard it in the background. And I said to somebody, I said, I don't know who this is, but they're trying to rip off Pink Floyd big time. And it turned out it was Roger Waters stripped from David Gilmour. It's like Lennon from McCartney. You got to have them both. I don't like, like you said, Roger Waters is a divisive figure, maybe
Sure.
not somebody you want to hang out with, but man, that Roger Waters period, I think it's when him and Gilmour are together, I just think it's so good. And I think it just lost so much when they split. I never really got into like the Division Bell or that other stuff.
There was still good output from Roger. Like, I didn't mind the Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking and a little bit of the other stuff. That probably did it for me. But you're right, Division Bell, things like that, and then some of David's stuff. But what would have been, obviously there was so much great output from them as a band, but what would have been the definer for me is when Waters took The Wall on tour. There was 2 times, I think, that Gilmour actually came and played his solo That's it. That's all he played. But they kind of brought him up behind the wall. He played his solo Uncomfortably Numb, and then he went back behind. I think he only did it 2 times on the tour. And then, of course, there was Waters doing The Wall with Van Morrison singing and Sinead singing and Bryan Adams singing and all of that, which was fantastic. But for me, The Wall, I love that album. As far as the visual, I would have loved to have actually seen that tour of The Wall.
Yeah, it was just so expensive that they could only do it
Yeah.
like on the coast.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But then to have seen that tour and the time that David played his guitar solo on Comfortably Numb.
Oh yeah,
Like
it's just phenomenal. He's such just an iconic. He's people are gonna hate me for this, but he's right up there with Hendrix for me. Just a very distinct, gorgeous sound. I just love it.
He's not flashy. He's not Eddie.
Absolutely,
Eddie's up there.
absolutely.
And he's
It's
not Jimmy.
good.
But yeah. Yeah. And there you go. Yeah. Warp Dog. See, Warp Dog always has the shit that I forget to talk about. He brings it up when we're doing this. Yes. Pigs on the Wing that had somebody else doing the guitar solo, but that name escapes me as well. But yeah, David definitely, well, I shouldn't say, this will be a dumb comment, doesn't get talked about enough when you talk about guitar heroes. Like, he kicks Eric Clapton's ass.
I would much rather listen to David Gilmour than Eric Clapton. Much more.
Yeah, for sure. But when you talk about it, it's Eric Clapton. Well, no, it's David Gilmour. I mean, and Eddie's still the best for me. But anyway, yeah. There, Snowy White. Thank you. See? He just needs to come on with us because he's got all the information. He's just coming in from the comment section and talking about it. So.
Okay, so we are coming up to the 2-hour mark. At this time of the show, we're going to show exactly what's left.
Okay.
What's that? I only have one left.
Okay, cool. So, I'm trying to think. Who's next? Is it me?
Remember.
Mark's up. Mark
again.
Mark.
Okay. So
yeah,
I brought this one up. I saw an Onion article saying something about boomers are not prepared for when Neil Young leaves the world or something like that. And so Neil Young, favorite of mine. I pulled this one up just because it's not one you see all the time, but this is Oceanside. This is one of those things that were released later. I think it was between the time of Hawks and Doves and Comes a Time. But Neil Young, I just love Neil Young. He's one of those guys, I don't know if I'd ever want to meet him in person. He sounds like he's kind of a cranky guy.
Yeah,
but I just love his music. I love he's done so many things that were maybe not great, but man, I just think he's an interesting guitar player too. He's maybe not in the same leagues, but he definitely has that sound, and him and Crazy Horse. But Neil Young, nobody's ever called him Dad Rock in my presence, but I imagine Neil Young, and probably even more so Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. But that's my Dad Rock one.
Another guy that Jack White hails quite a bit, I think, right? They've done a bunch of stuff together in the last while as well. So
cool. Well,
the Godfather of Grunge.
The Godfather of Grunge. That's right. Pearl Jam's got to know something.
Right. I've got a few, so we'll quickly go through these. The Verve.
Yeah.
Big in Britain, not so big over the pond. I can never pronounce this right, so bear with me because I'm dyslexic. Bittersweet Symphony. Well done, Chris.
You got it.
That's the saddest story of a song. You probably know it, but
there's
beautiful song, great song.
There's one on you that's more sadder than that, actually, and it's
sadder in the story because it was their big hit, and then Rolling Stones came in and said that's our song.
Well, there's one in here called The Drugs Don't Work, and everybody thinks about him taking drugs. It's actually not. It's about his mother on life support who's got cancer,
Oh,
and
dear God.
he's talking about the drugs don't work. They just make things work. I know I'll see your face again.
Oh, man. That
Yeah.
is dear God.
So let's go on a slightly
Yeah.
better route here.
Let's maybe make this a little happier. Yeah.
Stone Roses, big influence on Oasis. Massive hit on this one. I Want to Be Adored. She bangs the drum. Not so big in America and Canada again. They were massive in Britain. Let's show some Canadian.
Sure.
Sum 41, mate.
Yeah.
I know Joe would love that.
Does this look infected? Yeah.
So Dad Rock, we got Fat Lip on here, Into Deep, Motivation, Pains of Pleasure, and if you read this, all the good shit.
Yeah, it is. It's all good shit.
And this upsetted me slightly. It's The Offspring.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that one. You've got a band from Britain that nobody's heard of, apart from Richard, maybe. This is Keen. Your laid back, kind of soft rock indie kind of music. Brilliant. Everybody's Changing. Someone we used to know. It's brilliant. And then I'm gonna finish off with, you may class them as a one-hit wonder. And it's kind of that Nickelback kind of situation where everybody goes, oh, not them. It's Creed.
Not
And-
them.
And remember when I mentioned if you Google it, there were different definitions, and there was
Yeah.
Divorced Dad Rock, Creed, and Nickelback were two of
Yeah.
the bands that that fell into that category. So
So you've got, you know, with Arms Wide Open, Don't Stop Dancing, My Sacrifice was a big one as well. So there you go. That is my selection for the
Can I tell you a real
evening.
quick Creed story?
yep.
Go on.
First time I heard Creed, I was again at another party, and somebody was playing music, and they asked what I wanted to hear, and I said, I don't know, what do you got? They said, I got some Creed. I thought they were saying like Creedence Clearwater Revival. I thought it was like a cool way to say, and they put that on, and I was like, what the hell is this? I'm leaving.
Yeah. You know, I was never a big fan. I don't dislike them, but they're playing a festival that we have here. It's mostly a country festival, but over the last number of years, they've been throwing some different acts in. Last year was Def Leppard. They've been trying to get a mixed bit of a crowd, and Creed is the Def Leppard of this year. People are as excited as hell, man. People are going, I can't wait to see Creed. So that's awesome. That's good. I don't begrudge anybody of who they like. It's not my deal, but yeah, Creed has made a bit of a resurgence, let's say. And
But don't forget, like 2000s for me, I was going to college, leaving school, and it was kind of, they were massive. My Sacrifice was freaking everywhere.
yeah,
You
Oh,
couldn't escape it.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
right. I don't know why it keeps going back to Mark because I was next, but we'll go to Joe.
Yeah. And you brought it up quick, but yeah, let's mention it because our wealth of information, one more time. Yeah, Bittersweet Symphony, that, and then that's what the Stones were fighting them for. But then I think that finally got settled, right? And I think it got settled in the Verve's favor, did it not? I can't
Yes,
remember.
it did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
That's good. All right.
They pretty much told the Stones to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, kind of. And how often does that happen? Speaking of Dad Rock, we never showed any Stones, did we? I don't think we did. They
No.
fall into that category.
Stone
And
Roses.
they've got- and just
The
like
Stone
their
Roses.
new album coming out next week or 2 weeks, something like that. Anyway, Supertramp, I think falls into the category. For me, my favorite Supertramp album, Breakfast in America, is great. This is just my favorite. There is lots of great other Supertramp.
Oh man, I thought you were going to show Crime of the Century. Everybody always shows Crime of the Century.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the thing. But for me, it is this one. I think this might be a gatefold. I'm not sure if it's got Roger and company in there. Another band that had a couple of very distinctive voices in it, and both were both were good. I like Roger a little bit more. In this case, it's I like Roger more than I like the other gentleman whose name escapes me that passed away last year, actually. So, but unlike Pink Floyd, where I'll take David over Roger, I'll take Roger over the other gentleman. I'm just going to put that away later because this is the speed round. This is the guy I think that falls into the category, and this is a guy that has had a pretty decent, solid, long time career. Started out as the Bob Seger Project. Is that what it is? It's over there. I can't remember. Then the Bob Seger System. Then it was just Bob Seger for a while. And then, of course, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. I love this album. This is a fantastic album. If you just take old time rock and roll off of it, it might be in my top 10.
I still like that stupid song, man. I still like it.
Yeah, just overplayed. Just so
yeah, it was overplayed. And it's one he didn't write, by the way. Somebody else wrote it.
And as a DJ back in the day, can you play old time rock?
Oh, I bet. It always got people out on the dance floor, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I used to charge people $5. It's like, oh yeah, I'll play it, but it just cost you $5. A little Irish music, but not U2. U2 probably would have fell into the category as well, right? Thin Lizzy. Good stuff. I love this album cover. One that had eluded me for quite a while, and I found it, and then I found it twice. It is a Vertigo, but it is not the Vertigo Swirl version. It is the other Vertigo version. I don't know if there's a Vertigo Swirl version of this album, but that. And then lastly, I think these guys fall into it. And if you're going to go with some Deep Purple, you might as well just go with Machine Head. Not a lot of bad Deep Purple. In fact, I would argue there is no bad Deep Purple.
There is no bad Deep Purple.
No, exactly. Yeah, Machine Head again falls into the category of. And Mark, you made a great point. Is classic rock just dad rock? Yeah, kind of. But some of the stuff Chris showed is not necessarily classic rock, although it's 30 years old.
Definitely not.
But it falls into that. So. Yeah, there you go. Stranger in Town goes on my table when I'm into heavy housework. There you go. And yes, Machine Head as well. So love the story that of Smoke on the Water, how it's a true story. The damn burning the joint down. What are you doing? Anyway, there you go. That's my I had a few others over there, but I'm not going to do them. That's okay.
There you go.
And everybody
guys.
learns to play Smoke when you get a guitar. Smoke on the Water is the first song you learn to play.
Yeah.
I thought it was Oasis Wonderwall. But there we are.
Yeah, that's it. No. It's the guitar solo from Comfortably Numb by David Gilmour. That's
Yeah.
Isn't that what everybody?
Let's start off with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try yourself with Voodoo Child. See if we get off.
Oh, man, that's a great song. That is so awesome. Voodoo Child. I love that freaking song. Yeah. Nobody can do that.
So that is our live stream. It's been amazing. Thank you for everybody who's left comments. Everybody's going to watch us later. I do appreciate it. We'll just go around again one more time, telling you like what's going on, your channel, that kind of stuff. Mark, over to you. I know you've got something in the pipeline. I know you so well.
I have so many ideas, but I never get around to them. I always end up doing somebody else's thread or something instead of my own ideas. But I think I was talking to Joe about this a while ago. I have this idea for songs of anger and rage, and but with kind of a spin. And then I want to do a thing on CDs that I have not purchased on vinyl yet. I have so many CDs of that I don't have on vinyl, but I want to talk about them. So that's another idea. And I have some more, but I don't want to talk about them because I'll probably never end up doing it. I got to buy a new pair of glasses. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
That's not how that's supposed to work. What's he doing? What's he doing winking at us all the damn time?
Don't poke him in the eye. Joe.
Personal channel, like I said, I've got a couple of semi-final episodes for Rock and Roll Jeopardy that I've got to get to, and then a final that will come up. I haven't done a lot of other things on it, not for a lack of not having things to talk about. I've got a stack of about 20 things that I've bought in the last couple of weeks sitting over there, so maybe one of those as well. The shop that not a lot of people watch because it doesn't really pertain to them because we don't ship, but yeah, I know you do. like that. Yeah. And, I mean, if nothing else, it's a great way to see what we've got in at the shop. And it's just another guy talking about records. So why not watch it? But I get it if you don't, because, again, we don't ship anywhere. We just sell locally. But I've got another one that'll be this week because I put out about 100 new ones yesterday. I've got another couple hundred of those 2,000 that we bought in the last little while. I'm just going to keep putting them out a couple hundred at a time on Fridays. Just keep people coming back to look through stuff. So that should be good. And yeah, you and I don't know what we're going to do next week. If we're going to do something next week, maybe not, because I want to try and get those Jeopardies out of the way. Summertime's a little tougher. I'm a little bit busier, not crazy busy. You're a little bit busier, and it's tougher to find people sometimes. But, we got 3 of the coolest dudes around today anyway. So there you go.
Cool. For myself, 0 planned as usual in my life. It all depends with work and that kind of stuff. Like I said, went with this guy to Lincoln, Mr. Rob Walker. Hey Rob, how's it going, mate?
Oh, wow.
And
Tell them to put up the live stream from after a couple pints.
yeah. So Rob, I was telling about your live stream you deleted. So I've decided I'm going to the Bristol Record Fair in October. It's going to be me, Cam, Rob, David, Gav, and then next year in April I'm going to Den Bosch.
Nice.
Den Bosch in April. It's in April. It'll be my 65th birthday.
So I'm going to go to Den Bosch.
Oh yeah,
with Rob,
for
Gav.
My birthday.
Yeah, I'll do a live stream from there just for you, mate. Right, to wish you happy birthday. Yeah, well done. Never again. So that's the plan for me going forward. I got nothing planned. I've been busy with work, that kind of stuff. We'll be back in a few weeks. Joe's going to get through his tournament. Yeah. And I think probably the next guest we're going to have on is Mr. Steve Carlson. So we're going to have Steve back.
Oh, awesome.
And possibly an Punk Volume 2. That's the plan going forward. So
I can do that.
So that's the plan going forward. Thank you for everybody who's left comments this evening. Yes, you're such a dick. Yeah, it's fun around. Yeah, of course it is. Well, you're around me, mate. So thank you for everybody who's going to watch this later. Everybody's left comments. I'd like to thank my guests as always. Joe, fantastic. Always a privilege to have you on, mate. You bring so much to the show as usual. Mr. Mark Morris, one of my favorite people on YouTube, as always. I love Mark to death. He's brilliant. If you haven't heard of Mark before, go and subscribe. Please, for the love of God, subscribe to his channel.
Exactly. Like unsubscribe from me so you can go and subscribe to Rob and Mark.
Not Mark.
Rob doesn't need any help.
Just watch him for the entertainment value. He should be a stand-up comic at this point. It's just brilliant.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I'm going to end this. Thank you for everybody. Mark, thank you again. Joe, brilliant as usual. Go and check out Jeopardy. Just go and check it out. It's brilliant.
I missed it on Monday. I was like, wow, it was something I look forward to on Mondays. Mondays suck for me, but I always looked and I was like, oh man, he might not have it on. So I'm still looking forward to it.
Before we end this, and I know I'm keeping on by this, but I've got a schedule every week. So when I come home from work on a Tuesday, I watch Jeopardy. Then I watch Nick from the Vinyl Den on a Tuesday. There's like a schedule.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You know what I mean? So I'm watching the day after, but I'm still watching it. So go and check it out. I'll put the description down below for everybody's channel, for Jeopardy. Go and subscribe to Mark, for fuck's sake. What are you doing with your life? Exactly. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll be back in a few weeks' time, probably with Steve Carlson, and we'll go from there. So thank you so much, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, Chris.